Hello and welcome to the extra episode of my trophy guide for God of War Ragnarök. This video is not required to go through the guide. It simply serves as a section where I can share some information about the run. If you are confused about things during the guide, you might find answers here, but of course you can always use the comment section of the respective episode. I generally answer questions within the day. First, I will give some general information about this game. Personally, I give this game an overall difficulty rating of 4 out of 10. Everything in this game can be done on the lowest difficulty setting, leaving you with only 2 difficult fights. And those can be made a lot easier with mini-boss checkpoints and resurrection stones. When it comes to grinding, I rate this game as a 1 out of 10. We will go out of our way to pick up materials to upgrade our weapon to the maximum level. This is technically not required and could be called grinding. However, it is certainly worth it to make the later fights much more beatable. None of the 36 trophies are missable and nothing you do can ever make any of them harder to obtain. So if you do happen to miss a step during the guide, you're still good to pick it up later. There are no multiplayer trophies. This run took me around 21 hours. At the time of recording this, it is not possible to skip cutscenes. Once you can skip cutscenes, this run will drop to slightly over 15 hours. Lastly, despite this game having very few flaws, there are still some points where you can get stuck without any way out. So I recommend creating saves every so often to not lose much progress. Cloud saves are not necessary since this game features its own save menu. Now, the only thing I want to mention before we start the guide is that I am by no means an expert when it comes to combat in this game. This won't have any consequences for the guide since that only shows how everyone can pick up this platinum with relative ease. Yet I still wanted to say this since that means I will not focus on runic attacks and skills whatsoever. I will now quickly go over all the trophies, so stick around for a general idea what you are in for. These subsections are not sorted in any order. First, there are 11 story trophies. Those are all the trophies that you will inevitably obtain by completing the final chapter. This does include the 10 traditional story trophies, however we will also automatically equip an enchantment. There are 8 trophies for picking up certain items and collectibles throughout the realms. There are 7 trophies for completing side quests for various characters. There are 2 trophies for completing the more challenging fights in the game. And finally, there are 7 trophies for miscellaneous tasks. The only thing we go out of our way for, which is not entirely related to trophies, is closing all hell tears and clearing all Draugr holes to reach the final upgrade for the Leviathan Axe and Blades of Chaos. This will end up saving time and also makes the endgame fights a lot easier, so this is absolutely worth it. That's it for preparation. I hope you enjoy the run.